What's poppin', y'all? Yo, these tweenies, man, they are going crazy. We got some guy that must have been influenced by Lil Uzi Vert because he goes in to roast a chick. Y'all remember when Lil Uzi Vert was talking about, damn, y'all 25, and then he still got braces on at 30 now? It's crazy. I don't even think Uzi's 30, but hey, he's in his later 20s. But the situation that happened was this lady went to a show by this artist by the name of Somber, S-O-M-B-R. I had to do a little bit of research, and it was like, yo, my heart froze for a second when I did that research. But first, I'm going to talk to you guys about her review of the show, because her review of the show started spreading around TikTok. This guy grew mainly on TikTok to Spotify. His song is one of the biggest songs on TikTok. It's got over 1 billion streams. A B, big B. Big B, we're not talking Birdman. We're not talking about what Birdman represents. None of those rags or anything. A big billion. And she decided to show up with her man of all people. So I think the fact that she dragged this guy along too, and the fact that he decided to come along to the show, was not a good recipe to start with. But I'm going to play you guys a clip of her review.
First 2 minutes he's on stage, he makes a 6-7 joke. I'm not even kidding you. And all the tweens, I've never had such immediate buyer's remorse in my life. Like, I left early. I didn't even hear my favorite music. He proceeds to make a bunch of niche meme references for like the 12 to 16-year-old age range group. And I only understand them because I'm chronically online, but every other adult in the room, including my boyfriend, is like, why is he speaking in tongue? Like, what is he saying right now? Just ridiculous to hear out loud. Like, it was like brain rot on stage. 30 minutes in, he cuts all the music and he's like, we're now gonna have the Somber dating show. Raise your hand and come on up on stage if you wanna call your toxic ex. Make sure it's toxic and make sure there's somebody who's gonna pick up. Again, all the tweens. We then proceeded to watch 3 tweens go on stage and call their ex. And then Somber's on the mic like, clock it, bro, clock it, bro. Oh, chill out, bro, chill out, bro. I've never had such secondhand embarrassment for someone. He would make like super niche references to like 13-year-olds, but then he would also say like super vulgar stuff about like getting his dick sucked. And it was like, so you know your audience is clearly 13, yet here you are. Okay. There was a moment in between songs where he literally just randomly went, bark for me. And you hear the arena of 13, 14, 15-year-old girls start barking, and then immediately followed up with, yeah, I'm daddy. That, and he wasn't even a good performer. Genuinely, it sounded bad. Like, he said he had bronchitis. It seemed like that wasn't the only issue going on. Then I get on TikTok and I'm seeing all these kids posting these videos. Oh my God, this must be how my mom felt. This is my generation's David Bowie. I saw a TikTok from the Anthem DC, the show I was at, where a girl's like recording it and it's like, the kids are gonna be all right. No! No, cut that. Absolutely never in my life have I felt so much rage. Not even during it. Like, I felt rage during it, but seeing the aftermath on TikTok and seeing it be like, he's the hottest. You guys need better role models. You guys need better symbols. I'm so sorry. Slender Man, we're picking him. We're picking the weird dancing dude. I will insert the clip. He dances like Napoleon Dynamite.
So this chick is immediately, she's upset at this guy for making references that his age group and that underneath him is going to relate to and find funny. What? If you got a problem with it. And then she says that only 12 to 16-year-olds know this, but I know this too because I'm chronically online. And no. I don't know a lot of these things. And I am chronically online. I'm chronically in the basement. I don't even get sunlight. Listen, you can make fun of it right now, but in 20 years, when I don't look that old and y'all look aged out from all that sun, hey, we can come back and revisit it then. But yeah, she's 20, and this is a problem I have too. Like, there are certain people that will stay online. I think chicks do this more. Like, my friend, he was dating this chick. She was 29, 30, looking up to Alex Earl, who was like 20. It's like, dog, this chick is a freshman at U Miami. You graduated from U Miami 10 years ago. You're about to go to your 10-year, what is it called? 10-year reunion. What are you doing looking up to this chick, trying to dress like her and all of that? What's going on here? So this lady, she doesn't want to admit that she is spiritually 16. So there's a little bit of guilt that she's feeling where she's like, oh, I don't find this funny. I had to leave and he's doing this and that. But we're going to break down a couple of other sections of this too. I think the fact that he brought on like chicks to call their like toxic ex, I think that's a funny bit to add to the show. It is entertaining. Dog, imagine you're like 16, 15, 16, and then you're like, yo, this chick's about to call her ex, dude, and she's on stage, and it's like, yo, it's entertaining. Let's be real here. We got to understand. We got to remember when we were that age. And the part though, the reason why I thought it was funny that she thought it was so crazy that he was doing this is because has she seen a Kevin Gates show? No, whatever Kevin Gates got going on that stage, has she seen a Usher show? What Usher is doing with them cherries? Like, this is quite tame of him just having them call their ex. Yeah, if he was talking, if some dude like this, imagine he's talking to you like this on the phone. That's the only person that can be upset is the ex, because he's like, yo, who the hell is this guy talking to me like that? And then you got this androgynous dude on stage. Talented guy, though, from the song that I've heard, from the couple of songs that I've heard. But still, I'm not trying to hear him talk to me like that. But the part where she says, like, yeah, he gets a little bit vulgar and he knows that his audience is young, that I can give her, but I wasn't at the show. And then when she says arena, I was like, huh? Like, what does she mean arena? So I looked up the venue that she's talking about in DC. This is like a 5,000 to 6,000 person cap venue. I was like, yo, what the hell? He's got motion like that. And then I was like, let me look this guy up on Spotify, man. And I opened it up and my jaw dropped to the floor. I just said, what? What am I looking at? This guy's got like 60 million monthly listeners. We're over here talking about Drake, Kendrick, all these people. Meanwhile, this guy has got insane numbers. Like I had to close my eyes, open my eyes. I had to readjust the focal length on my eyes because I was like, yo, maybe it's a little bit blurry. Maybe there's a wrong comma, maybe there's 5 digits instead of 6, or well, 7 in this case. No pun intended there, by the way. The craziest part is she's trying to roast dude. She's like, yo, this is my generation's David Bowie. I'm surprised they even know who David Bowie is, because even this chick who's 25, David Bowie's not even in her generation either. And, man, this chick was a One Direction fan. She was either a One Direction fan, a JB fan, JB who is goated. One Direction who, they were elite. They were elite. Zayn Malik, we are bumping Zayn Malik. Certainly. Now, the other guys, not too sure. Harry Styles, he's got a joint here and there, but we're not bumping a Harry Styles album top to bottom. One Direction and Zayn Malik, we are. And when somebody's gonna say, brother, who is we? We as in me. That's all that matters. Me and whoever's around me. You will be subjected to hearing some Zayn Malik. I say this having not listened to Zayn Malik for at least a year. But we gotta pretend like we I do mess with him. I don't gotta pretend like I mess with him. Gotta pretend like I listen to him more than I do. But this chick, we know she was listening to some BS too when she was young. And I don't think this guy's music is bad. And he's only 20 years old. And then she says, I was raging. Why are you pulling up to the show, madam? You are clearly, the way that you described this, it sounds like you were subjected to it. But I want to hear her boyfriend's perspective, because he's the guy that she dragged along. I don't know for a fact if he's 25, 26, 27. He wasn't like, hey, baby, we should really go to a Somber concert. And if he was the one that bought you guys the tickets because he thought you liked him, then that says a lot more about you, because you're switching up on your mans right now who you are a fan of. You're just a closet fan, and you feel embarrassed when you went out in public and saw, wow, this is where mentally and spiritually I belong, but I don't want to accept it. However, this guy, this ended up going so big in that sphere that Somber, the artist, replies to it himself. And I'm going to play you guys that clip.
I thought I was chronically online, but it's just come to my attention that there's a TikTok drama going around because a 25-year-old attended my concert and was basically complaining that there were too many tweens there. I was making too many brain rot jokes, and she just thought it was a cringe concert. And also she was body shaming me, and it's kind of started a massive body shaming hate train directed towards me on a lot of videos of me on the internet right now, which is... I totally respect people having opinions, but I am a 20-year-old artist, freshly 20. And if you're 25 years old and you're going to come to my concert and not expect people younger than you to be there when I, the artist, am 5 years younger than you, it's just a skill issue. Also, the jokes thing, you had to have known about my online presence before coming to my concert. Anyone who knows me knows I've never uttered a serious word in my life. And also, I make jokes for 5 minutes of the concert, and the rest is music. Live a little, enjoy life. Every age, sex, sexuality, gender, race, everyone is welcome at my concert, and I mean everyone. You guys need to find problematic people to hate on, because I am just existing. Also, I'm just going to give a quick tutorial. Also, I just remembered that I had a fever and bronchitis at the show she went to, but the show goes on. I will not cancel unless I'm on my deathbed.
All right, man. Somebody got to go check this young bull. Like, Meek Mill, you got to check in on your mans here. It's like, she body shamed me, and she started this body shaming movement on, like, she called him Slender Man. Like, the dude's, I'm guessing he's tall, but we know he's slim. What's the problem? Like, you're getting offended by that? Come on, man. Get out of here. Especially when he's making jokes on stage. Now, he did, I think I saw a tweet. I'm not taking credit for this. So, there was a tweet that somebody quoted and said, damn, he hit that "you're 25" like it was a slur. And yeah, he most certainly did do that. So towards the end, he talks about like, oh, I think he gives reasonable points throughout this where he says like, hey, man, he admits that he did have bronchitis. He says like, listen, I'm 20. Obviously, the people that listen to me are going to be under 20 or 20, 21, 22, 23, maybe. But like if you pull up to a Jay-Z show, are you going to expect the ages of 21 and under to be there? It's unlikely. Unless their parents dragged them there, there will be a couple. But that's not going to be an overwhelming percentage of the crowd. I don't even think it'll be 5% of the crowd. Now, when he starts getting into like, oh, everybody's allowed at my concert, see, that's what pushes me away. I need some like exclusive stuff. I don't want everybody there. If I could see the entire rainbow there, and I don't mean that rainbow, I just mean like all types of different people, I feel like I'm at the wrong place. I need it to be a monoculture. Like if I'm going to a metal concert, I just want metal folk. I want people in that subculture. If I'm in a Ed Sheeran concert, I want families, moms, etc. If I'm at a concert by who? Adele? No, if I'm at a Pitbull concert, it's going to be overweight divorced women. Overweight divorced white women, mostly. And maybe like some Latinas, depending on the venue. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, this whole seeing everybody, nah, I'm good off of that. It's a cultural study when I pull up to a show. I'm seeing, like, who's there. Like, you pull up to a Rush show, you are going to see nothing but fine young chicks, like anywhere between 22 to 30. And we've already seen what you're going to get at a young boy show. So I think she grilled the dude a little bit too much, especially when he said he had bronchitis. And then if she's the only one that's upset with how the show was conducted, then it's her fault. And this is the thing too with Yeet. When Yeet first blew up, the first tour that he did, when it was like 200, 300 person venue, Yeet's really come a long way. His audience has changed. They've grown too. It's been 5 years, 5 years. I would say 4 years. So many of the fans, like my homie, he went to a Yeet show and he was like, what, 20, 22 at the time? Probably 23. He was in his he was older than most of the people in the crowd. He's like, yo, a lot of these kids are 12, 13, 14 because Yeet blew up on TikTok. And Yeet's a young guy too. However, it's been 4 or 5 years since then. That fan base grew up. Now the people listening to Yeet are anywhere from like 18 to 24. For the most part, that would probably show up to one of his shows. So that's just the nature of it, man. And I think I don't know how much of a jokester this lady is. It seemed like she was half joking, trying to be funny. And it's not my kind of funny, but I think it's a little bit entertaining. His response was solid, except the part where he's like trying to be a little bit, just like the whole body shaming part. Like, yo, get that out of here, man. Suck it up. You got 60 million monthly listeners. You are not getting. This guy's got so much motion right now. It almost made me puke. I got motion sickness from looking at this guy's monthly listeners. And he's only 20? Just know that this guy's eating. He really might be David Bowie with the way he's feasting. Probably more so closer to Ziggy Stardust. Was Ziggy Stardust the one where he had like the paint on his face? This guy doesn't got paint on his face, so yeah, wouldn't compare him to that. Nor would I compare him to David Bowie. David Bowie's really elite. I remember listening to his last project, and I think that is an example of somebody where you can say, oh, I thought artists like don't drop some of their best work when they're older. Right before this guy died, he dropped one of his best works. That collectively, a lot of people agree on that. But we're not going to go on a David Bowie tangent in a video about a 20-year-old artist and a 25-year-old lady getting upset with his performance and show and bits. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you on the next one.